meeting.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Best of our knowledge.
Okay.
Good, Sylvie? All right, excellent, thank you. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I call to order the meeting of the Skokie Public Library Board of Trustees of Wednesday, June 10th, 2026 at 6:35 p.m. Okay. Do we have any comments from observers? Okay, thank you, Susie. We're going to move on to the approval of the minutes of the regular, closed, and annual meetings of May 13th, 2026. Do you have any questions or comments on that?
I do think Ella left in the middle of the closed session. That wasn't noted. I don't know if that matters or not.
We can amend the closed session minutes to a
So just because she's not here.
Yeah. Susie can amend that. So we can approve it as amended.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so do I hear a motion to approve the minutes of the regular, closed, and annual meetings of May 13th, 2026 as amended? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Thank you. Let's move on to the director's report.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Nice to see everyone.
Good evening.
So I'll start off with my regular update at this point about the property tax revenue delay from last fall. And we still haven't received any new money for that fall distribution, unfortunately, and we haven't received any additional money for the spring distribution. So or revenue. So we're still waiting. We're hopeful that we'll receive more spring tax revenue soon. Allison has heard from Cook County saying that we should expect to receive another payment soon. I don't know if you heard, it's not in my director's report, but just today I believe it was announced that Cook County is telling taxing bodies that we should expect another 2-month delay in tax revenue in the fall. So normally we start receiving revenue in September and then into October, so it'll be more like November, December. Which I'll take it, compared to last year, of course, so if that's really what they believe is gonna happen, that's the extent of it, then we will be okay, but, if we have another delay of like, going into like, January, February of 2027, then it'll get a little, dicey there, so they also announced that, the Cook County in July will open up the bridge loan opportunity for taxing bodies who need to borrow some money at 0% interest. And Allison and I have been talking a little bit about that today. We still need to do a cash analysis of where we would be given our current balance and we would like to pursue that, just to have the little bit of guarantee that we pay our bills and if there's a lengthier delay. And it could hurt, and you can pay it right back immediately, obviously, as soon as you start getting the revenue in. But then also we can earn interest, as expected, instead of having that lost again, So I think we're gonna pursue that. And I'll bring this to the board, of course, because this is applying for a loan like that is I think actually should be a board voting matter. But just want to give you a heads up about that. On another hand, good news, and this is another that's not in my report, I did email you about this, but Allison, do you wanna share the good news?
Sure, we have been approved for receipt of $300,000 for the Illinois Department of Economic
Commerce
Opportunity.
and.
Compensation. It's a mouthful.
Yeah.
For the Petty Auditorium. I've been submitting information. It's a multi-level grant since March of 25. And so we just this week received news that we've finally been approved and should be receiving the money.
Yeah, so I just wanna thank Allison and I recognize her work. It's a lot of, paperwork that you have to go through and it's a lengthy process and it's not the simplest of forms and everything. So Allison filled all that out and really stuck with it, got us that money, so very happy about that. Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about like what the criteria was or what it was behind the grant that you were able to get that?
It was a reimbursable grant, so they titled it, but at different levels, different folks on the grant side that applied it, that were accepting it had different interpretations of the grant, but so we used the Petty Auditorium because it was a completed project and a larger project. I had to submit invoices, photographs. There's different levels, like there's caps for the construction. Administration, like 15% can only be allocated to that. Then the other is like wiring for electrical, which we did all of that at the Petty Auditorium.
And state senator wrote a fine, so our local elected officials will periodically tell us about these opportunities for applying for these grants, and so their office helped us with this particular one.
Great.
Yeah, we're good. So a little good news to balance out the not so good news. The new summer weekend hours started 2 weekends ago, and it's been a hit for sure. There's been a lot of people there've been a lot of people coming in the mornings on Sunday from 10 to 12, but not in a manner in which we've been concerned about being overwhelmed or just kind of unstable in terms of operations and services. So it's been a very healthy kind of number of people in the building. Staff have commented, Laura set up a great forum for staff to kind of share input, and we've heard nothing but just positive comments from staff and patrons. A lot of patrons, I was here that first weekend, and patrons would comment, we're so glad, we're so happy about this. Comments like, please keep it up, don't stop with the summer. And a lot of people, I think word of mouth was spreading like in the farmer's market, because people would say, I'm going to go over to the library now. People say, wait, the library's open? So, yeah. Laura, did you want to add anything about that? I know you've been looking at the numbers more.
Yeah, we did see, particularly the second weekend, we did see an increase in gate count over the same weekend last year. And we're also tracking circuit numbers. Amy's looking at study room reservations and other uses of our spaces. So we're keeping an eye on kind of every aspect. We had our building services manager was here to observe one of the weekends. Our safety manager came in to observe. So we're trying to get all the different aspects of the operations and make sure everything is progressing smoothly. So we'll keep on checking things.
And I know I saw Leah that first Sunday, and I missed it. Elisa, when you were there too.
I was there, yeah.
Oh, you
I
were
was
there
there
too?
the second weekend. I didn't go the first one. I went there
Sunday's weekend.
Good, yeah, so you all saw that.
Yeah.
It was just a nice amount of people in the building. Like I said, it wasn't disruptive or overwhelming. And we staffed up a little bit so to accommodate in anticipation of the longer day and the increasing number of people. So yeah, all in all, so far, it's been a big success. So, summer reading has started, and yeah, in the break, we'll get you your T-shirts so you can you get them early, like staff, so that you can. But it's not just a gift or anything. It's actually like a duty to wear them and promote the program.
People
So
comment on them
honestly, when you wear it, people do
Yeah.
talk to you, so.
If they're gonna
yes.
ask, where'd you get that? Like, well, you
Yes.
have to participate in the summer
Yes.
reading program, so. So that's exciting. I just want to acknowledge some of all of our sponsors there, including, the gold sponsor, North Shore Community They Can Trust. So, yeah, it's been, so far a good start to summer reading. And, yeah, our proposals are, for the second floor staircase there are progressing. I mean, honestly, Susie's been taking the lead on this project and, has, helped our committee get it down to 5 finalists, and Susie reached out to the finalists we're inviting them to send more specific proposals about what they're imagining here, and not just kind of sharing about their past work. And so at that point, we'll once we get some proposals, we'll definitely obviously update the board, and so you can weigh in on all the 5 proposals, and then also I think Michelle made the suggestion I think last month about getting the community involved, and so we have plans for that to happen, and also the staff, of course. So excited about that. And Juneteenth celebration is this Saturday, so if you are planning to attend, it's always a great event. Lots of people from the community are out there. Please let me know so I can. Sometimes I believe I always miss it for some reason, but sometimes they acknowledge like the elected officials like yourselves, at these types of events. So please let me know if you're going to be in attendance. We'll have a library presence there, of course. So yeah, and last thing is just that I'm continuing to work with our health insurance pool to explore strengthening our numbers by merging with another local library insurance pool. I just think it's the best thing, one of the best things we can do, like be proactive to kind of position ourselves to have more favorable renewals in subsequent future years. So it's not a done deal. This month and next month it should clarify and solidify, and when it does, I'll definitely give you an update. And that's it for my report. Questions?
How did the Festival of Cultures go? Because I wasn't able to attend this year, but I know we always have a presence there.
Yeah, I was actually out of town and I wasn't able to attend either. Amy, were you there? Or?
It wasn't, but I had a couple of public services staff members who were there, so they got to talk to a lot of folks. We had a board at the library table asking, what do you love about the library? So they actually have a version of it still hanging up in community engagement of just folks sharing. We're doing it kind of as a getting familiar with having some more open-ended aspirational conversations to lead into strategic planning.
I just want to say I saw the band downstairs
Yeah.
it's very cool. So I'm just curious in terms of like what's next with that, since it seems to be wrapped and ready.
It's all wrapped. It looks beautiful. We've already taken it out in 2 events. I was at the first event, I think, for the Sprinter Band. It was a few weekends ago. It was a plant swap at the Wright Park, and it was well attended. People loved the band. But what's happening now is that we're going to get our access team is working with our mobile services team to get some materials on the band, because it does have some permanent and non-permanent shelving, and so we want to provide a collection on it so people can browse while it's at a stop. And the van you're gonna start seeing the van out in the community at community events, at just various stops. So it's just gonna be integrated into our summer programming for the bookmobile and the van and the book bike as well. So.
And the build went smoothly. Everything was according to plan.
Everything is, from to my knowledge, that we haven't had a single issue or the only issue that we had was the rattling of the shelves when there are no books on them. So there's more weight on the shelves, and then But other than that, I talked to Carl Cutler, our bookmobile supervisor, had the plan swap and sat with him for a while, and he was showing me all the technology, and he was very happy with how it came out. So.
And there isn't a special license for it compared to.
Not that one, the Oldsmobile, of course, but not this Sprinter. But I think they still haven't allowed me to drive these. Probably won't be allowed.
Stay in your
No,
lane,
no, no,
right, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you just stand over there.
Well, I did attend Festival of Cultures and I did stop by. And it was, they had all the stickers out that we could choose from and everybody was very nice. And, there was a good stream of people who were stopping by when I had come by there. So it's always great to see, our presence at all of those events,
Yeah.
so.
Nancy and her staff do a great job of just kind of coordinating all that. It's CE staff, community engagement staff, but also it's a bunch of other staff, obviously from different departments. And the management team is expected to attend at least 3 community events per year. So you'll see like our building services manager out there, or a team manager, and so forth.
Any other questions or comments for Richard? Okay, then we'll move on to page 5 through page 14, the approval of the May 2026 disbursement report. Do we have any questions or comments on that?
Request. When I go through the the disbursement report, I always see several line items in each section allocated to Fifth Third Bank. So I understand that it does link to the credit card account that is also in the report, but because there's no column in the credit card report telling me where the expense ladder's up to, it's hard for me to reconcile without asking.
Yeah.
And I don't want to keep asking what is this line item? It would be great if we could add some type of column that can tell you which thing in the disbursement report it ladders up to, if it laddered up to technology network or whatever. That would just be really helpful for me. I don't know how other board members feel, but that would be helpful.
Yeah.
So instead of the description,
For example, if I look at continuing education and memberships, there's a $12,000 expense for Fifth Third Bank.
Mm-hmm.
But then if I go down to the next section where the Fifth Third Bank thing is, it doesn't specifically, it gives the vendor, it gives the description, but it doesn't tell me which of those things it actually ladders up to.
Got it.
And so we can do that, but moving forward,
Yeah,
right?
the only thing is the disbursement report is a grouping of the Fifth Third expenses, and the credit card is individual expensing.
I
So-
see.
But are you referring to the credit card charges, the list of credit card charges? We do want the budget line listed there.
Yes.
Yeah, we can do that,
Yeah.
So you'll have a group still. in
Yeah,
the
that's fine.
disbursement
Yeah, I don't
report.
need every little tiny thing in the disbursement report, but
Yeah.
if there's for example, just using that continuing education thing for Fifth Third,
Yeah.
if those expenses are in this other section, it would be just
So we'll have,
nice to see. Just the whole section where it's got the Fifth Third credit, with the credit card was
Next
used
to
for
the
Fifth Third.
credit card.
It would be nice to see oh, they use the card here, you know
Just
what I mean? Because there's so many line items here for Fifth Third,
Yeah,
and I know it's multiple expenses
We
that
could
come
do,
together.
I know what you mean.
just a quick clarification, sorry,
Oh, go ahead.
but you would you like the credit card statement to look like the disbursement report?
I don't think it has to look like it. I just want to be able to see which credit card expenses ladder up to which.
She just wants to be able to reconcile.
Yes.
Yeah, I would
Yes.
recommend keeping the credit card statement formatted in the order, sorted in the order.
No,
that
that's
it is.
totally fine.
But then for instance, next to the description of put PLA conference lodging, have another column
Yeah.
that says budget line or whatever, and then just put continuing education.
Because I feel like that's always a question. If I see a
61,
large
60,
expense for Fifth Third, I know it goes there, but I don't know what went into that expense.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Maybe if you could just send a draft copy of whatever you had in mind. And maybe if
Yeah.
you can
That way you don't
look
waste
through
your
some of
time. I'm like, no, this doesn't.
the-
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. We can do that. We'll do it in between.
Yeah, I appreciate it a lot.
No problem.
I would appreciate more information.
It'll be clear all the way around.
Speaking of clarity, anybody have any other questions or comments on the disbursement report? Okay, do I hear a motion to approve the May 2026 disbursement report? Individual roll call, Elisa?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Amanda?
Yes.
Lula?
Yes.
Leah?
Yes.
Michelle says yes, motion passes. Yeah. Okay, moving on to page 15, the approval of exterior sealant repairs, project pay app number 1.
This is pretty straightforward. It's a sealant project that we've informed you about in the past, and they're pretty much done with the project, but this is the first pay up, and there'll probably be one more, right?
Actually,
Can
a
you
little ahead of schedule, so we're hoping to.
And can you just talk about the coverage of that, with the sealant of what areas? Just for clarity.
So, we have all these panels and fins of the aggregate concrete all around the building. So it's sealing all around those, as well as around the windows, around the skylights on the roof. So any place water could potentially work its way in they scraped out the old sealant, resealed it, so it would be much better shape. And right now they're mostly done with that, and they're working on some little concrete repairs, like if we found little patches that need to be filled in. But they're hoping by the end of this week, early next week, the whole thing will be done.
Okay, great. And everything went smoothly, no?
Yeah. Yeah, very straightforward.
So we're just approving this payment?
Yes, essentially.
So the first time we approved, what were we approving? That we were approving this company doing the job,
Yes.
and now we're approving paying this.
Yes, exactly. The first installment of the payment, 'cause on page 18, you can see kind of it broke. That's probably the easiest page to look at, because you can see what the current payment due is and then the balance to finish. So that's what would be left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Completed all the construction. Because you want to make sure they're doing work as you do that. Not
Makes sense.
just assume.
Yeah.
I get like the blocking of the payments, but I would assume our one vote to do this work would count for that, but.
Mary,
I
I
don't have this in my board packet.
So let me explain what happened. So the board packet went, this is my bad, honestly. The board packet went out on Friday afternoon, and then we heard from the contractor of the pay up on Friday afternoon after the board packet went out.
Okay.
And so I said it was okay to amend the packet on Monday morning. And you look at the board packet
I look at it
on
on
the weekend.
yes, I
Yeah,
did.
so
I'm like, I
I
don't
didn't
see
think of
this.
that. I didn't think anything.
I'm like,
would
oh,
be
it says you have
yeah.
a new version, click refresh,
Yeah,
Mary.
yeah. That's my bad. That's my
I
bad.
was like, what are you guys talking about? I read through the whole packet and I did not.
I know, I saw your expression. I was like, I need to say something. So, yeah.
Like, what are we looking at?
I apologize. I should have
That's
reached
because
out
you're
to
too
you.
prepared.
No, I was
You
like, what are
prepared
we
super early.
talking about? I'm like looking around, I don't see this.
Next time I'll reach out to you and let you know that something was added.
No worries.
Yeah. It wasn't a major, like, agenda topic, so it didn't occur to me.
No worries, I was just confused, I was like.
Are you able to view it now?
Did you find it? Yeah.
No, I did this on Saturday, like at 7 AM, I think.
So you're like,
Yeah, I was,
way light years ahead of
Do you
you.
want to look at
So
it
it's
before
all
we
good.
approve it? Do you want to take?
I just wanna skim
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry.
We weren't meaning to bypass anyone.
Let's get one past Mary.
No.
I. Like, what is? Okay, so sorry, back up again. So this is the plan for what project?
The exterior sealant project.
Okay,
Yeah, it's just the exterior of the building.
got it.
The sealant has been deteriorating for,
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
the board has approved. the
Yes, I
project.
remember we had the talk, we saw the photo, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, I'm fully
Okay.
looped in now. All right, thank you.
I'll move to approve. construction in the amount of $150,385. Was I supposed to do that?
You did fine.
That was exactly right.
That was exactly right. I'm just gonna take another step back. No, you did great. Does anybody, is there a second to that?
Second.
Okay.
Let's get past this.
All right, this is an individual vote. Remember, we're approving for a total of $150,385 to exterior sealant repairs, project payout number 1. Elisa,
Yes.
Mary,
Yes.
Amanda,
Yeah.
Ula,
Yes.
Leah,
Yes.
Michelle says yes. Motion passes
Thank you
6-0.
very much.
Thank you. That was great too.
Is there anything else? In here?
No,
Is this the only,
No,
okay.
that was okay.
Makes me feel good I have a good memory
You
though.
do have a good
That
memory.
is
Because I
very.
was like, I don't remember.
I could see the expression on your face, but Laura was speaking, so I didn't want to interrupt Laura, and I was like, I'll tell you what.
Richard, I got a quick
Yes.
question. This is not about approving or anything,
Yeah.
but I noticed the notary public was in Indiana and this is an Illinois company, so I was just. How was that?
I think that must be. I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe that company is based.
I was just curious, yeah, okay. Foreman on the site, it's from there, I wonder if
Oh.
you got it. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't mean to like.
No, it's okay. Yeah.
I was just
Probably
curious.
someone from, as long as it's a valid, And I will, say one point here is that our, and Laura talked about this, but BTC or whatever construction manager will have on a project that, where it results in payouts, they review all of this first
Okay,
and kind of make sure all the details are in, and then they share it with us. So
okay, good,
so there's an extra set of eyes on
great.
Okay, missed it.
it. Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the approval of the consent agenda. We're discussing pages 21 through 31. Can I just talk about some of the highlights? today?
Yeah, I mean, the same kind of the monthly report, there's no big revenue that came in, unfortunately, hopefully that'll be different next time around. The beginning of the fiscal year, we're, after the first month, we're doing fine with our year-to-date spending. Just to note, if you're wondering, the technology line is always like that, not overspent, but spending at a more accelerated rate because of all the yearly subscriptions, technology, software, and platforms that we have. That's why it's all kind of front loaded, or a lot of it is front loaded in the beginning of the fiscal year, so that's totally normal. Michelle, you said that you wanted to have an update on the analysis of the general operating fund for some fiscal year, so we have that on page 24. Allison prepared that. The only slight change there is that we did receive some more corporate replacement PPRT money, so that's reflected in here. Other than that, you have our usual statistics and data reports, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to share about that. And the final thing I'll mention is that this is the time of the year in June and July where we'll start sharing the various annual reports. So before you tonight is our communications and multimedia engagement report and our public services report by Amy. And next month you'll receive like an operations report from Laura, a community engagement report from Nancy, and a access. Well, yeah, I don't know, but yeah, access services will be collection reports. And then our financial reports, annual financial reports you'll receive next month as well. So if you have any questions about the reports, Amy's here, and I can try to answer anything you might have about the CME report.
I love the formatting of these reports. I love the clickable links. So it was like you're talking about something, I could touch it and I could see it. And I was especially thrilled to see that for the Library of Things, when I was clicking on it, I was like, oh my gosh, there's a how-to video for this stud finder. So if somebody checks it out, they actually know how to use it. And so I was curious if on the actual things that they check out, is there a QR code on all of the, like the Library of Things? That way if someone takes it home, they can just scan the QR code and it takes them to the video?
I asked
But
Denise this,
Oh,
and
okay.
I don't think we have them on the boxes, but she's gonna get them on.
I think that'd be so cool because I mean, people lose, I mean, I'm sure you don't, I don't know if you have the paper instructions, no one
Right.
holds on to those, I mean, you know, just scan it. The video is so helpful and informative,
Yeah.
and I loved all the little statistic boxes, it's like I could just, obviously I read it, but it's like if I just needed the quick takeaway, like it was really awesome just to see all of those very quantifiable things, so I really like the format of this.
Thank you, that's really good feedback for us. We've, as you know, Mary, we've been trying to refine our annual reports for many years. It needs to be longer, and we're trying to make them more, a little bit more, you know, readable.
I loved the data about the Skokie residents versus the Chicago and other residents. Because yes, we pay for it. We should get first come, but also it works within our mission statement that the library is a place for people, even if they don't live here, to come and benefit from the amenities and
Yeah.
everything we have to offer. So it's nice that we keep track of it, and it's nice that it's not a problem.
Yeah, I think that if we saw the numbers flip, then we would actually try to address them. That would be a concern, you know,
Yeah.
so, but
Blown away by the number of teen volunteers we have. I could not believe that number. Like, I was shocked that, I even asked Richard, I said, I thought, is this the same volunteers that are just, and it gets, I was like, no, these are unique volunteers. How do we get so many teen volunteers?
Yeah, well, so this is actually the first full fiscal year where we've captured unique teams in a singular year. And so like starting May 1, starting the list from scratch again. So better being able to quantify that. So a lot of them are middle school and high school students from Skokie. Fair number who are like the vast majority. The largest number at one time is over the summer. So we'll generally have between 150 and 170 teen volunteers doing specifically summertime volunteering. And that includes about 50 teens who do the Booking with a Buddy program now in its 29th year. So that's a huge chunk right there. We have each year a little more than a dozen teens who have been have a court order to do community service, and so we work with them for that. So that's a piece of it. And then we also have just throughout the year, usually more when it gets to here's the National Honor Society deadline for your volunteer hours or for confirmation or what have you, folks who will come in and do just a couple of hours at a pop, maybe for a program or to help with a specific thing. So like right now, one of the things over the summer we do at spring break, winter break is teens who come in for like 2 hours at a time and facilitate our art cart in the activity room. So some of them might just be 2 hours per year, but we also have some who get, 50.
The number of hours is pretty astounding. I mean, over 2,000 hours, I was just amazing.
Yeah. We're fortunate. It's a community, a lot of teens personally motivated, not just like, I mean, you see so much in the news like, oh, it's for the resume or the college application. No, these are teens who really want to be engaged in the community. So, pardon me.
Testament to the environment.
Well, and for the amount of hours that teens are volunteering, thank you to everybody who organizes that. So that's a big undertaking as far as logistics and, parameters that you need to follow for certain children and making sure that everything flows. That's a lot of logistics to have to manage. So thank you for that. And then just on a personal note, my own daughter was, she got a visit from the library at her school and she came home and she was like, I want to volunteer. And we, so it's great to be on the other side of that for, you know, going through this experience with her and kind of seeing the communication and what's being received on the parent end of that, and kind of walking her through it. So, you know, we'll be here for our assigned 5 sessions and our mandatory training, we'll make sure that we're here. But it's really neat to see that the influence that you have going into the schools at a place that can reach a lot of, you know, patrons at one point in time. And, you know, and for, you know, middle school and middle schoolers that still want to do those kinds of things and to be engaged, you know. So you're really selling it. So I just want you to know, great job on that.
Great,
And
thank
we're
you for
excited
that.
to see you from this side of it.
Thank you for the insight too.
I did not know we have a book club program. I saw the boxes downstairs and I thought it was just, you could choose one. I didn't realize that there was facilitating. My book club, who had the audacity to meet tonight. Just had to get that off my chest. One of the biggest problems is that we have to pass around the books, especially from the library. I'm always like, okay, I returned it, whoever's next.
Oh.
Yeah,
So,
come to the advisory service point on the first floor and say, you know, this is for my book club, we need X number of copies. Well, you can't often do it yourself because you can only reserve so many of the same title, but we can override that and help you get enough copies for your book club. Thank you.
Very cool. Is there a limit on how many of the same book you can take out?
From our collection, yes. But I think it also might depend on what type of item it is. So if it's like on one of the new displays, you can only get one of them. But
Like if you take the large type and the paperback and the hardcover, that you might be okay.
yeah, well, that, I can get real nerdy about it for a second. So when you are placing your own hold, it is placing a bib level hold. So anything on that bibliographic record, which is all of the different copies of the same edition. So if you've already got one, it thinks you already have it, even though there are multiple other copies. But staff can override and place item level and say, all right, no, they want each of these 9 copies.
I'm asking because most
Those
recent
are
time
good.
we were
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
my son is really into Dogman.
Yeah.
So we took out a Dogman, so obviously my daughter needed the same exact one.
Of course.
We have one card in her name. Yes, she can get her own, but at the moment, she was like, I need this one because he has this one.
Yeah.
So I was like, we'll see if we're allowed. And we were allowed. So I was like, whoo. I like,
Crisis averted.
literally.
Yeah.
Crisis averted.
And now they take the book out and they don't know whose is whose and they read them at different times. So we could have had one. But
But could we approve?
But don't want them to cry. So, okay, cool.
No,
And
he's crying over
it's
dog.
okay to increase our circulation too, that's fine. You know, yeah.
And if you ever find you can't or have trouble, just ask a staff member because
I
graphic
was like,
novels.
I'm on the board, I need.
Well, anybody, graphic novels are a weird one because they're all on one record.
Okay.
So like, we can do more than you can.
Got it.
because
Okay,
of
that's good to
weird
know.
cataloging things. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Ask the library.
Ask for help.
And then my other question, what's the age for volunteering?
So going into 6th grade is for volunteering on your own. We have been increasing having family volunteer opportunities as well as with the boom box since we switched how that space works in the fall, having tween volunteering that is more like event based happening in that space.
So 11 and
And I know that I've done, when my kids were younger, I know that we had done something, I think it was making something for dogs, like, you know, we were something with the, whatever those things are called, the
Yeah.
nuzzle things that they
Yeah.
do, you know, like, they'll have smaller events like that, you know, when they were younger, we could all come together and do it, feel, you know, and have that sense of, oh, we're doing something good for
This
this,
spring, we had families packing
organization.
seed library packets,
Oh,
for
mhm.
instance.
Yeah, which I think is really a nice way of, you know, having it, again, bless you, access for all ages, you know, into something they might not have. Bless you. they might not have a whole, program for, but
Yeah.
like where they can do it independently, but as a, with a caretaker, an adult,
Yeah.
whoever. I think
The
those are-
family activity.
I don't think anyone from CME is here tonight.
No,
But please pass on my compliments. It was a great report.
I will, thank
Like,
you.
just very comprehensive to explain what seems like a lot of overlapping jobs,
Yeah,
and they made it very clear.
Jane has a great crew and, everything around you that you see in the library, there's CME involved. I'll pass.
Oh, sorry. On page 25, the circulation card holder analytics, I did notice that the e-magazines went up and the periodicals are going down. So I just want to say thank you for keeping the periodicals in. I see Kolami on the credit card statement repeatedly, which is a very religious Jewish magazine that
Oh.
people read on the Sabbath. And on the Sabbath, we do not use electronics.
Okay.
So just wanted to say thank you for keeping it. I don't read it, but my mother does.
Yeah,
So just really appreciate that you keep the hard stuff.
yeah. I mean, I think we still have a pretty,
Yeah.
robust collection of, print periodicals on the other side of the shelf, so.
It's been a little challenging because a lot of publications have moved to only
Oh,
online,
digital.
so, we do the best we can, but sometimes things just aren't available in print, but
Yeah.
I hear you, because I like.
I,
Thank you.
Well, that's a collection too, especially kids as well, where it's a lot of in-library browsing, and people will read it and then put it back, so it doesn't really give the full picture.
Yeah.
Even though the youth periodicals went up really high. 30%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the smaller total numbers, but.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Do I hear a motion to approve the consent agenda inclusive of the financial statements, reports, gifts, and personnel changes? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for all the hard work that went into that report. It was great to see all the wonderful things that have been happening this past year. Okay, we're gonna move on to the approval of audio recordings of the closed session minutes. And we have them listed here by date. So I'll just kind of go through, we've got a couple of different ones between the audio recordings of closed session minutes and then a review of closed session minutes, which are different dates.
And just to clarify, we weren't able to view these in the Dropbox this time, because I think last time we were able to.
I sent you an email with the, yeah, but I'm not sure, because I didn't check for the Dropbox, but it's the same, the closed session minutes that you should have reviewed are the ones that I sent it like.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so with that, we've got 3 dates for the audio recordings. They're closed session minutes of October 9th, 2024, November 13th, 2024, and December 11th of 2024. Do I hear a motion to approve the destruction of the audio recordings of the closed session minutes of October 9th, 2024, November 13th, 2024, and December 11th, 2024?
The list of closed session minutes that you asked us to review
Yeah,
are different
I can-
dates
I
than the
can
ones you
explain.
mentioned.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, it's okay, because this only comes around, a couple times a year, so it's fine.
Okay.
No, so periodically, we have audio recordings of our closed session minutes, and then we have the written minutes. So they're
Okay.
two separate things.
Okay.
And it's standard, very normal and typical procedure for most taxing bodies to destroy the audio recordings when permissible. And that's what we're doing with the first motion.
This is the audio one.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, and it's just kind of like standard procedure, there's
Got it.
nothing strange about it, I mean,
They
every,
just expired after the time you have to. give them.
after, what is it, Suzie? 18 months, that we're allowed, the board is allowed to destroy, the audio recording, after 18 months.
Okay.
And then the next thing on the agenda is the review of the closed session minutes that are still closed. So there have been lots of closed session minutes right in the past, but the board has, very regularly released them. In other words, opened them.
Right.
But the ones that we're talking about in the agenda, which Michelle, I'm sure could get to are the ones that are still closed and not released to the public. And the question is whether you want to keep them closed or whether you want to open any of them. And you can do that individually. And so that what I sent you in email was just a recommendation of what I'm recommending we keep closed, which is that's at this point all of this. So. Sure.
And these closed session minutes, not the audio.
Yes.
So the closed session minutes that you had emailed about.
Mhm.
So, because some of them are backdated quite a number of years,
Mhm.
is there a reason why we're doing it at this time now? Like, why is it a review of it
There, as long
9 years
as
later?
any minutes are closed, they will be included in this in our periodic.
Yeah, like, I feel like we've seen some of
We've seen all of these
before,
except for
yeah.
the ones from 2026.
Yeah.
So in the past, I've recommended that the board keep those particular ones from the past closed, and that's still my recommendation. So I think that I don't foresee them ever being open. This is what I want to say with those.
Okay.
But the ones from 2026, just because of the nature of the minutes and the topic, I think it's just good practice to keep those closed as well until the next time we review.
Any other questions about that? Okay, so then I'll go back to the audio recordings then, and then we can talk about the closed session minutes that Richard was referencing in the email. We can go, at a separate time for that one. So I am asking if I hear a motion to approve the destruction of the audio recording of the closed session minutes for October 9th, 2024, November 13th, 2024, and December 11th, 2024.
So
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 6-0. Okay, moving up, thank you, Richard, for that explanation. Moving to the review of closed session minutes for the ones based off of Richard's email. So if you have those and you want to open those up, just process-wise, as a board, do you want me to just lump them all together, or would you like me to go individually per date?
I'm fine with lumping them unless if somebody says they would like someone, like one of them separated out for a separate discussion.
Okay.
So I'm fine with lumping them together. from each other.
Okay, so I guess my question is, does anybody have out of the closed session minutes of September 10th, 2014, December 13th, 2017, February 10th, 2021, March 10th, 2021, February 11th, 2026, and April 15th, 2026, are there any that you would like to discuss as being open? Okay, then based off of that, do I hear a motion to keep those dates lit? Do I have to say all of them? Do I hear a motion to keep said closed session minutes, stated earlier, closed?
So moved.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 6-0.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Let's go on to page 37, action on participation in non-resident fee program.
Okay, this is, it sounds strange, but it's a pretty standard thing. Every year we do this, and it's something that's required of every public library in Rails. It's whether or not the board wants to take part in the non-resident fee program in the state. And basically, it doesn't even apply to us because we don't have an unincorporated area around us other than golf, and they go to the Glenview schools. So if they want a non-resident card, they should go to Glenview Public Library. So there is no one that would, kind of be eligible for this, so kind of moot. But I recommend that the board once again vote to decline participation of the state's non-resident fee program since it is not applicable to the library.
Any questions on that? Okay, so then do I hear a motion to decline participation in the state's non-resident fee program? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 6-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so at this point, I'd like to move into closed session. So based off of that, do I hear a motion to move into closed session pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C1 to discuss the compensation of specific employees and 5 ILCS 120/2C2 to discuss collective negotiating matters? Okay, individual roll call for this. Elisa?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Amanda?
Yeah.
Bula?
Yes.
Leah?